All right, everyone, welcome to Sour Horsepower, and in today's video, what we're going to be covering, as you've probably seen by the title, is we'll say a few things that I not necessarily hate, but don't like about the 2020 Fiat 124 Spider that we bought a couple weeks ago. So we've had it, like I said, for, I think this is coming up on week 4 now, but about 800 miles on the car. And there's a couple things where, you know, we were coming from a Durango down to this, which we knew was a downsize, and we'd be missing some features, like all that. We know that these are things that were going to happen before we bought the car. So please don't go to the comments and be like, you shouldn't have bought it if you knew all these things. Right, I got it. We know. But with that being said, if you are watching this video, maybe you want to know some of the things that you might be missing out or not realize as a potential setback or a negative thing for you on why you would purchase this car. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. So we're in the car now, and basically everything that I don't like about the car is on the inside. So we're going to go over a couple things here. So number one, the thing that bothers me the absolute most is going to be right here in the center console, these buttons. So if you look at the placement of these buttons to the shifter, so when I rest my arm here, every single time I go to shift, if I'm like especially pulling down into second gear, my forearm will hit either the volume or this, and will make the screen here, you know, just switch modes. So that is really inconvenient, you know, when you're driving around. If you have your navigation up, it'll, you know, change the menu on your navigation so that way you can't see where you're going. Or if, you know, you're listening to a phone call or whatever and you hit the mute on the volume button, you'll think something happens. It's not necessarily a bad thing, but it's just highly distracting. All right, so number 2 that we got, I think the thing that kind of really, I guess it is the second most thing that bothers me about it, other than the buttons, is the fact that this entertainment system in the Fiat does not have Apple CarPlay like the Mazda does, which I think is a bit odd because it is running on all the Mazda software. It's everything in this car is Mazda, but on the Fiat, you don't get Apple CarPlay. Now they're saying, I was researching on the forums and stuff, you can go and jailbreak this entertainment system and upload Mazda software onto it, but if the car is built on the same line as the Mazda, why not have Apple CarPlay? And I guess it's a feature that Mazda wanted to keep on theirs to, you know, help people sway over to Mazda rather than buy the Fiat. But it's unfortunate because you're stuck using just regular Bluetooth or just, you know, getting a phone mount and just talking through speakerphone, which we're probably going to end up doing, because that's going to move us into our third thing, which is the Bluetooth microphone, which is right here. And combined with these, let's see if you can see, yep, the headrest speakers, it's absolutely atrocious. Whoever you're talking to through the Bluetooth speaker or the microphone can't hear you on the other side when you're driving, because this car at highway speeds, you got a convertible roof, which inherently gives you a lot of wind noise at highway speeds. And then with this car having such an aggressive rear gear and transmission for, you know, sportiness, when you're cruising down the highway, you're running at like 3,000 RPM. So the car's really loud. You get a lot of wind noise, and you couple that with a very bad quality Bluetooth microphone. The person you're talking to on the other side can barely hear you unless you're basically screaming at the microphone. Now couple that with when you're on the phone, the only sound from your phone call comes through the headrest speakers behind me. It doesn't play through the speakers, you know, in the doors here or up here in the A-pillar. It only plays through the speakers in the headrest, which is just quite odd. I mean, it makes sense if you're doing, if you're riding around in a convertible and you got a lot of wind noise to only pump it through the headrest, but even then, the quality of the speakers is so bad that it's hard to hear anybody. So that's number 3. All right, so number 4, we're kind of, as you can see, the theme is sort of rolling around all the entertainment features of this, and this comes up with our 4th one. Yeah, so there's no place to put your phone in the car. There is a little tiny slot right there, but as you can see, I have an iPhone 10, and it doesn't even fit all the way down in there. It ends up riding up on this shifter, and then as soon as you floor it, it slides out. It's not really I mean, I guess you could have it in the cup holder there, but most of the time if you have somebody riding with you, this cup holder is going to be behind you because it's maneuverable. So you just pop that out, stick it in there, but then your phone's behind you and you can't see it. The center console here is useless because you stick your phone in there, you can't even close it. And then the only other storage in the car is back there. So there's literally no place to store your phone unless you just keep it in your pocket, which is also a big thing, especially when you're in a sports car and, you know, we're going to be driving some back roads, you know, quite aggressively. The phone's going to go sliding all over the car. It's kind of a not so good feature. It's not the end of the world to just keep it in your pocket and drive on, but that kind of just, you know, a lot of people use like Waze and other apps for navigation and stuff like that that you want to have or be able to see. So not having a place to store your phone that's easy to see is kind of an oversight in, you know, 2020 car making. All right, and for our final, I guess, little gripe, complaint, you know, a lot of people are going to be saying I'm complaining in this video. That's okay, but I bought the car and these are just some of my thoughts. So right here you have a borderless window frame that when you close goes up inside of the convertible top here. Now here's where the problem comes in. As you may know, in my last video talking about getting new tires and stuff for the car, when you have a winter storm and the car is parked outside, it gets covered in snow and ice. Well, what happens when you have a borderless window and you can't open the car because all the ice is going to be completely sealing the window? And on top of that, you don't have remote start on the car because it's a manual. So you can't heat the car up from the inside to help melt the ice. And you can't necessarily, you know, go ice picking because then you have a chance to break your window. So one of the, I guess, drawbacks of having a convertible, but like I said before, this is all things that I expected when we bought it. I still absolutely love the car, love the styling, love how it drives. We're actually about to go film the driving impressions video of this right now with our new Michelin Pilot Sport all-season 4 tires, but I don't want you guys to go in the comments and necessarily be like, oh, you're just hating on a car you bought, why'd you go buy it? It's not the facts. I love this car. We knew what we were getting into when we bought the car. I knew all of these problems were going to exist, or not, maybe not all of them. I was hoping, you know, maybe Apple CarPlay or something like that, but as a car, it's still fantastic. It's built for a purpose to go drive. So that's what we're going to go do. If you're still watching, go ahead, subscribe if you want to see more content on the 124 Spider among our other vehicles that we have or have coming. Leave a like on this video. Comment below if you, let's say this, comment below if you agree with what I'm saying or if you disagree with what I'm saying. And if you disagree, maybe kindly put why you disagree. But like I said before, the car's fantastic. I love it. We're going to go drive it right now. It's going to be my first real, you know, time to push the car in anger. So stay tuned for that video that's going to be coming up on our next video. So take care. Have a great day.